Some names echo through history, not with glory, but with dread. These names are often shrouded in mystery and fear, their tales passed down through generations, whispered in the dark corners of our minds. Their stories, whispered in hushed tones, send shivers down our spines. They are the stuff of nightmares, the kind of tales that make us question the very nature of humanity and the darkness that can reside within. One such name is Elizabeth Báthory, a woman whose infamy has stained the pages of history for centuries. Known as the Blood Countess, her legend is one of unparalleled horror and cruelty. But who was this woman dubbed the Blood Countess? Was she a victim of her time or a true monster who reveled in the suffering of others? And what monstrous deeds transformed her into a legend of unparalleled horror? Join us as we delve into the chilling history of Elizabeth Báthory, exploring the dark corridors of her life and the terrifying legacy she left behind. Born in 1560 into a powerful Hungarian family, Elizabeth Báthory seemed destined for a life of privilege and influence. Married at a young age to Ferenc Nadasdy, a nobleman and soldier, she found herself mistress of a vast estate. But beneath this veneer of nobility lurked a darkness that would soon consume her. Whispers of Elizabeth's cruelty began circulating shortly after her husband's death in 1604. Peasants and servants accused her of unspeakable acts, claiming she tortured and murdered young girls within the walls of her castle. Fear gripped the countryside as Elizabeth's noble lineage shielded her from immediate consequences. The details of Elizabeth's alleged crimes are too gruesome to fully recount. Her story is one of the darkest in history, shrouded in mystery and horror. Elizabeth Báthory, often referred to as the Blood Countess, has become a symbol of cruelty and sadism. Her actions have left an indelible mark on history, and her name is synonymous with terror. She is said to have bathed in the blood of virgins, believing it would preserve her youth. This macabre ritual was not just a legend, but a reflection of her twisted obsession with eternal beauty. The chilling accounts of her bathing in blood have fascinated and horrified people for centuries, making her one of the most infamous figures in history. Her methods of torture were as varied as they were barbaric, ranging from needles and knives to biting and freezing. Each method was designed to inflict maximum pain and suffering. The sheer brutality of her actions is almost unimaginable, and the fear she instilled in her victims was profound. Her cruelty knew no bounds, and her methods were as inventive as they were horrifying. Hundreds of girls are believed to have perished at her hands, their cries for mercy silenced within the castle walls. The haunted atmosphere of her castle still lingers, a somber reminder of the countless lives lost. The ghostly cries of her victims are said to echo through the halls, a chilling testament to the horrors that took place within. Her legacy is one of darkness and despair, forever etched into the annals of history. While history remembers Elizabeth Báthory as a monster, her story is far more nuanced and complex than the legends suggest. Known as the Blood Countess, she has been accused of torturing and killing hundreds of young women. But was she truly the sadistic villain that history has painted her to be? Some historians argue that she was a victim of circumstance, caught in a web of political intrigue and betrayal. They suggest that the charges against her were exaggerated or even fabricated by those who stood to gain from her downfall. Elizabeth was a woman driven to madness by grief and isolation. After the death of her husband, she became increasingly reclusive, retreating into her castle and away from the world. Her mental state deteriorated, and she became an easy target for those who sought to exploit her vulnerability. They point to the political machinations of the time, where powerful families vied for control and influence. Elizabeth's wealth and land made her a prime target for those who wished to seize her assets. The accusations of witchcraft and murder provided a convenient pretext for her enemies to strip her of her power. Suggesting she was a pawn in a larger power struggle, these historians argue that Elizabeth was not the monster she has been made out to be, but rather a tragic figure caught in the crossfire of a ruthless political game. Was Elizabeth a cruel sadist or a convenient scapegoat? The truth may lie somewhere in between. While there is evidence to suggest she was involved in some heinous acts, the extent of her guilt remains a topic of debate among scholars. The truth, shrouded in the mists of time, may never be fully known. The records from that era are incomplete and often biased, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. Yet her story continues to fascinate and horrify us, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath even the most polished veneer. Elizabeth Báthory's legacy endures, not just as a tale of horror, but as a complex narrative that challenges our understanding of history and human nature. As we delve deeper into her life, we are reminded that history is often written by the victors, and the true nature of Elizabeth Báthory may forever remain an enigma, lost to the shadows of time.